This call is being recorded.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing, Krishna?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Is it Fatima?
Great. Yeah, this is Fatma Sohail, and I will be working with you on your resume package, as I
Okay.
mentioned in my email. So, are you ready for the call today?
Yes, yes.
Oh, great. So, Krishna, I sent you a keyword list. Did you get a chance to go through it by any
Yeah.
chance?
Yes, I'm going through that right now. I should
All
be able to
right.
send it back to you probably tonight. Okay.
Okay, sure, that's fine. That's fine. The reason why I sent that to you before the call is that I just wanted to get a hang of whether you had certain engineering management skills, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel that the challenge you mentioned in your initial form that you filled was that sometimes roles that you interviewed for, they said that you do not have the right management experience, right? And you
Correct.
want a good blend of both technical skills and management leadership skills, right? So
Right.
basically, you're aiming for executive engineering management positions, right?
Correct.
All right. So there were a few job positions that you sent. They required kind of like you know sort of business leadership, customer relationship,
Mm-hmm.
customer aspect of or new program development aspect of the role. So I just wanted to know if you had enough experience with these aspects, or was it something that was completely new to you?
I would say some of the aspects like the finance related may be relatively new. That
All right.
can be substituted with my MBA degree.
Yeah, we
That is,
can.
that,
I mean, finance. When you say finance, there might be two things. So one would be like if you worked on certain products, if you
mm-hmm.
worked on developing certain products, you also kind of like manage their budgets, right? The
Yes,
program budgets or the new
yes,
product
yes.
development budgets.
Mm.
I understand that as an engineer or engineering manager, you must have, you should have experience with that, right?
Yes, that
Yeah,
aspect
right.
I do have it. But if you go
Mm-hmm.
one step further, like
Mm-hmm.
looking at the biggest cost picture, anywhere from $1 to $10 million, handling the uh, finance aspects, that
Mm-hmm.
it's quite less, I would say. So I can
Okay.
say I handle up to like $1.5 million worth of project, but not
Hmm.
in a large scale like 10 or $20 million.
Right. All right. So we'll see how we'll use that information and how we'll kind of um, uh, make that information into something meaningful, as in what challenges did you face in managing these budgets, and
Hmm.
how did you ensure that um, these were kind of like implemented in the best way, right? So we
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be looking at the unique value addition that you were able to add to your previous positions,
Hmm.
and that would show that you can do the same for your for the companies that you're applying to, right?
Yes, yes.
So I also understand that most of your experience has been in the gas, oil and gas industry, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, working with these systems, gas turbines, etc.
Mm.
And the positions that you shared with me, they kind of expand into broader industries.
Right.
Some of them were,
Mm.
medical related, medical device related. Others were space
Mm.
related, right? So, do you
Yes.
have any particular preferences, or do you just want me to make a resume, a wholesome resume that focuses on your skills in
Mm.
any of the new industries that you want to explore? Because that
Uh,
way
well,
we won't be talking much about the your previous industry specific
okay.
terms, because that would just
Yeah.
limit those to that
Hmm.
specific industry, right? So we'll be
Yes.
focusing instead on the transferable skills that you have.
Okay. So, I mean, I just want to tell a few things here. So, when it comes
Hmm.
to like gas turbines, there's only few companies that, be it aerospace or energy, there are like hardly two or three companies in each business unit. So,
Hmm.
the job market would be narrowed in that case if we try to market the resume, or if we make the resume just
Yeah.
concentrating only on specific related to the gas turbines. So
Yeah.
I'm okay if we try to put more of my skills as a front end, and
Hmm.
perhaps the product experience is something that I could earn by first 3 to 6 months, but that
Hmm.
doesn't have to be a showstopper in my view, because when it comes to new product development or handling existing product enhancements, the methods people do follow is one and the same. Okay. Be
Mm.
it like they start
Yeah,
with
we
the
would be
design.
talking about the new products that you have worked on,
Mhm,
and the product maintenance again,
mhm,
testing, etc. These are the core engineering management skills that you have. We would be talking about, but we would be kind of like drawing less attention to the fact that the products that you have worked on relate
mhm.
to this specific industry, right?
Yes, yes. Now,
All right.
yes, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I like to have like maybe 3 or 4 points that related specific industry in my
Mm.
resume, so that I could take it out when I'm
Yeah.
applying for the non gas turbine related jobs. So
Mm.
that I
So
just want to be specific. Okay.
right, I understand. And that is the reason why I'm saying that we wouldn't highlight the facts. So for example, right now in your
Mm,
current resume, you have
mm,
mentioned it right at the top that you are a gas turbine engineer,
mm,
and in bold and leadership and management. That kind of
mm.
uh, throws me off in the sense that that kind of tells me that you are only a gas turbine engineer, right? This we
No,
want to mitigate.
no, no, no.
Okay.
I just don't want to be in just a gas
Yeah.
turbine.
So
Yeah,
so this
but
this is something that we would have to take care of. We would kind of like draw attention to the skills,
mhm.
followed by your industry specific, you know, things that you have done and the industry specific actions,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. So let's just come to the professional experience then very quickly. So your latest position had been as the Doosan Advanced Turbo Systems.
Yes.
You haven't mentioned your position title. Could you
Mm.
please share that with me?
It's called a principal engineer. Now, here is what the issue was, because
Hmm.
even though it's more like a technical manager or a consultant role, like working
Hmm.
on development of new technologies, like I'll be handling some of the budget aspects and new technology developments, but
Right.
uh, they just kind of like giving a limitation on the position they would offer, like a principal engineer is the maximum position they can offer to anyone within the
Hmm.
company. So if you talk about my colleagues who are like 25 years of experience, they are at a principal engineer level.
Hmm. Right.
Okay.
So what we
Mm,
can do is,
mm.
yeah. Okay. You saying something?
Yes, and even in my previous company, like I was a principal engineer, so I joined as an engineer, but promoted to a principal engineer within like 2 3 years. So my
Hmm.
principal engineer is like I would say probably 2 levels below the maximum that anyone could achieve. For example,
Hmm.
in Siemens, like you be a principal engineer, and then after 2 to 3 years, you will become a fellow engineer. Okay, after fellow engineer,
Right.
you will become like either master engineer or a subject
Hmm.
matter expert. So if you want to choose a technical path, if you don't
Right.
want to choose a technical path, then you could go to management, where you can be an engineering manager or vice president of engineering. So that's I just want to say. So
Hmm.
overall, when it comes to the total number of levels, they have like level nine,
Hmm.
9 levels. Sorry, okay, 9 levels.
All right. All right.
So someone
So
starts with
I
like
was.
level 9, 8, 7, 6. So I was at level 5.
Mm,
Okay,
all
I
right.
mean it's just from
Makes
a
sense.
salary perspective. So it's four,
Mm,
three, two, one. But one being the CO that no one can achieve.
mm,
That's what
makes sense.
typically people say. But level 2 and 3, that's what most of the people would try to reach, which is like the vice president of engineering. Or
Hmm. Okay, so what we can do is maybe we can add the principal engineer title and then we can just say with it that equivalent to technical manager or,
engineering
equivalent
manager.
to, yeah,
Engineering.
engineering manager. Because
Yeah.
that would kind of, because not adding the titles kind
Mm,
of gives a red flag because the, interviewer or the employer might think
mm,
of 100 reasons why you did not add your, job
mm.
title, right?
Yeah.
So not adding that is not good.
Mhm.
We'll kind of explain this in this
Mm.
just how I mentioned, and we'll add that this way. All right,
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
for all of the three positions, because
Mhm.
you were principal engineer for all of the three positions, right?
Yes. And the
All right.
previous company, like 8 years ago, I was a project lead. So, but I ended up using the design engineering specialist because when I'm applying for technical roles, I kind of like restricting that to design engineer. But they have like dual role. For example,
Wait,
uh,
which company?
it's a scientist. Scientist like
Oh,
kind of
science,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I
Mhm.
was working as a project lead. Now, if I stayed in the same company, I would have become like a senior project engineer by this time. Okay.
Right. So we could just maybe say senior project lead then?
No, I would prefer to put an engineering manager rather than a senior project
Engineering
manager
manager.
because for project manager they might ask for a PMP. I'm not sure like whether my MBA would substitute the PMP certification or do I need to have a PMP certification? That I'm kind of
But
debating.
you do have like a PMP certification that's mentioned in the resume.
No, I'm
Or
just working on that, but I did not
it's
really
in
apply for the
progress?
exam. Yeah, it's in progress.
Okay, so I'll change that to in progress because
Mm,
there will be more rightful depiction of that in case the
okay.
employers ask or whatever. And whenever you complete the examination, right? Whenever you
Mm-hmm.
acquire the certification, you
Mm-hmm.
can just change the date. All right?
Okay. So, but
Because this
my
is a
question.
very useful certification, right? It'll be good to put them in, but then we could just say in progress. So that would show that you are pursuing it.
Okay. And how about the
Yeah.
Scrum and Agile? Because I have like a basic degree on a Scrum through a
Yeah,
Scrum.
I would like to put that in because
Mm,
from what I remember, in one of the job positions, they did ask for this, if I'm
okay.
not wrong.
Okay. And
Yeah.
some of the basic trainings that I attended at Siemens that includes like supply chain management and
Hmm.
leadership management. So that's why I'm like more aligned towards the leadership role. Uh,
Hmm.
and I'm going through the list of the job listings that you have mentioned. I would
Hmm.
say probably we need to take out one that the electric vehicle mechanical engineer
Yeah.
manager. So that
Hmm.
I don't have significant experience on.
Okay, we can take that out because that's we need to kind of like focus
Mm,
on the most relevant
mm,
aspects so that your resume is
mm.
well defined and it
Okay.
relates to your target positions very strongly, right? So you
Yes.
can I can definitely eliminate this. So
Mm.
any other positions you feel you aren't very much, this is why I sent you the keyword list, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that you could just take out the keywords that you aren't familiar with, and I could use the rest of the information to make a very targeted and focused resume. All right.
Sure. Sure. I
So
will do
I'll
that.
take
And
that position out. Yeah, I'll make a note and take that position out. All
okay.
right. Um, Having said that, so we will be using these titles for these positions.
Mm-hmm.
So coming to your latest position, you started working at Dosen Advanced Turbo Systems again in April. So that's kind of like a few months until
Mm.
now.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
first of all, Krishna, just give me a very brief overview of your day-to-day responsibilities here,
Mm,
the products that you worked on, the teams
mm,
that you worked with, or the teams that you led,
mm,
um, uh, the general day-to-day responsibilities. How involved were you in certain program development aspects, in
mm.
certain engineering programs, etc. A very brief overview.
Okay. So, I mean, since it's only few months, it's the job that is currently I'm doing is not entirely different from what I did at Siemens. So, I
Mhm.
would say probably these two can be like together. The job duties at Siemens and job duties at Doosan.
Krishna, your voice is a
Mm.
bit muffled. Can you speak a bit more
Okay.
loudly?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what I meant to say was the job duties at Doosan is more or less similar to the job duties that I performed at Siemens.
All right.
With the exception of being like I'm more into kind of leading the product development portion of it. So I would say we can use similar job skills both for Tucson as well as for the Siemens.
Hmm. But but that would kind of like cause repetition. So I was thinking
Mm,
maybe we could just talk about, you know,
mm.
the specific aspects at both companies that are,
Okay,
relevant to each of the companies. So, for
okay,
example, at Dosan, tell me about some of the products that you worked on.
okay.
What kind of
So,
products were those?
for at Tucson, I was working on the new technology developments for some of their in-house gas turbine development, be it like
All
a
right.
compressors, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on development of the compressor designs with the team
Mm-hmm.
and addressing some of the manufacturing and assembly challenges which they face during the compressor development, and then working on technology developments for some of the front stage compressor blades and vanes and the new designs. That includes developing the patent portfolio for Doosan. So
Right.
by
And
submitting.
why? Hmm.